My reflection question for today is a big one. Where is humanity? Thich Nhat Hanh said, "We are here to awaken from our illusion of separateness." Humanity implies care and dignity for a collective people. So, if so, what implications does this have for how we operate in our daily lives? I'd like to share with you how I've wrestled with this question recently, share a story. It was the night before the inauguration. I was in Boston and took the subway, to meet up with my family at a comedy club. It was dark outside, and when I reached the top of the stairs, no one was around except a little boy, maybe he was 3 years old, playing with a bottle cap. I said, "Hey, buddy, are you here with anybody?" He smiled. I opened the door, and on the other side of the door was rain, and a man was standing there who also smiled. I assumed he was his father, but I don't know for sure. I said, "Okay, I just wanted to make sure he was okay." I then turned the corner and saw a man lying face down on the sidewalk, not moving. Everyone walked by him. I just couldn't. I didn't see any sign of life. I saw two police SUVs on the sidewalk, no cops around. I called 911 and asked if they could get the EMTs there. Within 3 minutes, there was a huge fire truck and a dozen police. One of them grabbed the lifeless man's jacket at the shoulder and violently turned him over and said, "I've had just about enough of you tonight." I was in shock. I walked away. Either the man was mentally ill, on drugs, or in need in some way. Was violence really going to help him? 911 called and asked if I was still at the scene. I said, "I just left. The paramedics are there." My husband then called and said, "Where are you? Are you okay?" I explained to him what just happened. And then I said, "What is happening in this country? Where's the humanity? If that man wasn't okay, would someone leave him there to die?" My husband warned me there was a furry friends convention and hundreds of people were dressed as animals at the front of the hotel. The range of life I experienced in that 15-minute walk was astounding. Life could be tragic, absurd, and warm and fuzzy all at the same time. So during the comedy show, I released laughter from the deep well of my belly like never before. As Joni Mitchell says, laughing and crying, it's the same release. Where's is the humanity in these times? Where do we find love, solace, and hope? Family, furry friends, a few laughs. What does it mean to be human? Well, at least two key tenets are awareness and vulnerability. And if I'm honest, I felt a connection with all I encountered that night. I've been that boy who felt abandoned by a caretaker. I've been that caretaker, sure I had my child in sight when they were off playing around. I've been that motionless man in the street in despair and unsure if I could pick myself up and move on with my life. Dare I say, I've been that cop, frustrated with someone who wasn't helping themselves or getting out of my way or making my job harder. I've been the 911 dispatcher trying to help someone in need. I've been that furry friend just wanting connection, fun, and maybe solace with a fellow seeker. I've been that spouse worried about my partner. Sometimes, with all the need in the world, I feel overwhelmed. I don't know what to do or how to move forward. I don't have to do everything, but I can do something. I can show kindness. I can call 911 and maybe save one life. I'm in seminary, and my dean said to me, "You know what? I gave up Christianity to follow the teachings of Jesus." It had me thinking, if Jesus were alive today, who would he be and what would he do? He was a teacher. He never had intention of building a church. He might be living on the fringe of society. What was Jesus's one message for all of humanity? Love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. It's as hard and simple as this, and sometimes it's inconvenient. We may not be able to solve homelessness or world hunger, but what can we do in our own sphere of the world? Can I see myself in the disenfranchised? Can I hear this message of love? If so, what then must I do? Could I do? What are we all potentially called to do?